All right, here we go. Okay. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this. I saw that a lot of people have been posting today about wanting WordPress help, so I thought it would be fun to just do a quick tutorial and then maybe do a little bit of Q&A and answer any specific questions. So let's just first start with kind of the basics of installing a WordPress website, what it looks like from a host, from a domain point of view. And so just to clarify, there's two different ways to have a WordPress website. You can go through WordPress.com and build a website there, and then you can either have two different addresses. You can have WordPress.yourcustomname.com, or you can have your own custom domain. Oh wait, hold on. I have to pause the other live feed, or we're going to get this echo. Hold on. I just have to turn the volume down on it 1 second. I'm monitoring the host. Okay. So you can have two different domain names, like I said, the one that's WordPress.com specific, and then your own domain, and forward it to that. The disadvantage with a WordPress website that's hosted through WordPress.com is you lack a lot of customization features, a lot of SEO features. You can't control a lot of different things that you can control if you self-host it. So I'm going to share one of my monitors here, and then I'm going to post a link as well. Oh, come on. Okay. Share screen. We're going to share this one. Okay, so you guys should be able to see the screen here. And tell me, Jackie, can you see the name of these tabs up at the top?
Yeah, I did there for a second, but it looks like they're gone now. To cPanel Accelerated. Oh, there you go. I see everything now.
Okay, so the host that I like to use is called asmallorange.com. If you go to Austin J. Holt and go to affiliates, there's a link right here to my favorite hosting company. So what you do when you want to have your own self-hosted WordPress website, you first need a host. And you can think of a host as sort of like a flash drive that floats in the sky. And that flash drive can hold information that can be accessible by you and by other people. And so when you build your own website, you're basically building something that will sit on that flash drive, that host floating in the sky, and then your domain name, which is whatever you want your website name to be, points to that host. It's kind of like the address to your home, but it's the address to your website. So on your floating flash drive, you can install certain pieces of software and hardware, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to install the WordPress website system or software onto your own host as it sits up in the cloud. Okay, so first you're going to need a host, and so like I said, I prefer asmallorange.com. And yes, if you click this link and sign up for a hosting package, I get some little credit, so that's cool. You should do that too, but link to that on your own website. And so you get here to asmallorange.com, and then you're going to go to shared hosting, and then here are the different plans. I use this plan for almost everything, and honestly, if you don't plan on hosting a ton of data on your website, this plan will do just fine too. So for instance, we host a lot of our images on our SmugMug account, which is where we do all of our printing from. So when you see photos on my photography website, they're actually being hosted on SmugMug, so I'm not using up all of my storage. As you can see here, storage and bandwidth are the big differences in each of the packages. So honestly, you can start with a tiny plan, which is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. That is an insane deal. But that's only one domain. Or you can do the $5 a month and have unlimited domains. That I do recommend because, like, on each of my hosting packages, I think I have 3. On each one, I've got like 5 websites. So that's our $5 hosting plan there. One big reason I use asmallorange is because if at 3:24 in the morning I have a website meltdown, in 60 seconds I can be chatting or on the phone with someone from asmallorange, and that's really uncommon to find in a host. So that's why I really like them a lot. So once you sign up for your hosting package, you'll get an email. And in that email, you'll get a login that goes to what's called your cPanel. Now, the link may not say cPanel, but it's going to be the back-end link to log into your hosting account. Okay? And so the typical way you're going to access that is it's going to be your domain, like I'm showing you here. This is my photography company. It's going to be yourdomain.com/cpanel. Okay? And when you go to that, it then logs you in here. And this is the back end of your host. This is basically the control room to your floating flash drive up in space. And so you've got your preferences. This is where you set up a custom web email, which is a pretty easy thing to do, but I could do another video on that at some point. This is how you access all the files that are in your host. Primarily, you're going to use this file manager right here. It's set up like a root file system, just like on your computer. And then if you come all the way down here to the bottom, well, here's domains too. So if you want to have an additional add-on domain, that's where you would do that. But here's one of the most important parts for those who are just now hopping on. When you're on the back end of your host, you come all the way down here and you have what are called scripts. And you'll notice all these different scripts come free with a small orange, which is one reason I love a small orange. So you've got Joomla, that's a type of website. OpenCart, that's e-commerce. Joomla, there's Joomla again. And then here's WordPress. So you're going to click WordPress, and now your host is going to allow you to install WordPress directly on to your floating flash drive in the sky called your host. So all you do from here is you click Install. You choose the domain you want to install it in. Then you can choose a directory. So like I like to do /blog or sometimes /site. So that way I save my root directory, which is just saltlightphoto.com, for something different if I ever wanted to in the future. So let's say, for instance, you want to start a website or a blog separately. That's a big reason why you would do that. But it doesn't matter how you want to do it. You can have it in a directory, but then you just have to set up a forward. So when someone goes to yourphotographywebsite.com, it will automatically forward to the directory you want. So if you want the simpler version, don't worry about a directory. Just choose your domain. See, I've got different domains here. Just choose the domain you want. Do not touch this. You don't really have to change any of this yet. Then you're going to set your admin username and password. That's how you're going to log in to your self-hosted WordPress. Okay? So you're going to set that up. And then you're going to don't worry about advanced options for now. Then you're going to come and select a theme, and these are just standard free website layouts. The cool thing about WordPress is there are thousands of WordPress templates out there that range from $5 to $1,000 that are incredible websites. But all these are pretty nice, and they can be customized. So you're going to pick the theme that you want. I make sure that this email installation details has your email in it. Hit install. It's then going to install WordPress onto your website. Now, when you set up your host, you're also going to link your domain, which, as we said before, that's like your home address to your host. You're going to set up your domain when you set up your host. So once you've installed WordPress on your host, all you have to do is go to your domain, which here's your domain, and then you do /wp-admin. Now, I use a program that auto-logs me in. A little box will pop up and say sign in. So you'll just sign in with your username and password that you just put in here. By the way, if I'm going too fast, this is recorded. You can watch it later. So you'll log into your website, which is the WP-admin link that I just did. I'll do that one more time. So it's just your website /WP-admin. It logs you in here. And now you're in the back end of your website. And the back end of a website is called a CMS system, which is Content Management System. So, like for example, let's go to my website real quick. So here's our website. Here's our pages here. This is a photo slider. These are focus areas. Here's our recent posts. We've got widgets at the bottom here on the footer, social media links. All of this information is controlled through this. So here's all of my pages. I can go to all my blog posts here. And now this is a big right here is a big reason why you do your own self-hosted WordPress is so you can have this little button right here, which is plugins. Okay. Now, plugins is where you can really start to customize the functionality of your websites. I use ones like you can download Anti-Spam Bee, which stops spam comments. I like to use Image Optimizer because it optimizes the file sizes of your picture so your website loads faster. Facebook Conversion Pixel, this is for measuring Facebook ads. Gravity Forms, that's my favorite form builder, etc., etc. Now that's going to get a little too deep than what you guys are going to want to learn here. Someone asked a question earlier, it might have been Jackie, about how to change a theme and maintain your information from the website before. So if you go to Appearance, you're going to go to Themes right here. Now from here, you can pick any of the themes that you get for free that WordPress offers you, which there's tons of them, or you can upload a theme that you purchase. Now the cool thing is when you purchase a theme, you just download a little folder that's a .zip folder, and all you have to do is click Add New, upload, and then find that folder, and WordPress unpacks everything for you. To make sure that you don't lose any information, you're going to want to download a plugin, and I actually don't think I have the plugin on this, but it's called Import Export. Let me see if I can find it real quick for you guys. Let's see. Yeah, it might be this one here. I have to go into my other host. Actually, here, I'll just do that real quick since we have a few more minutes. Let's see. Okay, that is called WordPress Importer. Okay? So you're going to download that plugin to your self-hosted WordPress, and what that will do is give you the ability to export your website, which exports all the blogs and all the information, which is like would be the real tragedy to lose, would be all that blog data, and then it'll show up here on your tools. Let me see if it shows up on my other one real quick. Ah, there it is. Anyways, okay, I do have it on my other one. I'm sorry, just wasted a bunch of time. So once you install that plugin, that WordPress Importer plugin, here on the tools you'll have this right here, import and export. So what you're going to do is you're going to export your website before you put a new theme on, and that's going to export it to like a text file, and then you're going to put your new theme in, and as long as you do that process, you shouldn't lose any information. But if you did, you could then re-import. Now, someone asked a question earlier, it might have been Caitlin, well, what if I built a completely different WordPress website somewhere else? That's where this is really going to come in handy. If you're just changing your theme, you won't lose any information. If you're wanting to transfer from like your WordPress.com website that you built before you knew how to do a self-hosted, that's where you're going to want to export by using this button here, and then you go to your new website and hit import, and it'll import all your blog posts, all that information back into your new website. Give me 1 second here. 1 second. Okay, so yeah, like I said, you're transferring from a completely different website. You're going to go to Tools and Export, and then go to your new website and import the file that you just exported. Okay, so so from here you've got your dashboard, which has some information about your website, some stats, and a lot of these extra things you're seeing is stuff that I've installed that are plugins that I use for my website. Google Analytics. You can control your galleries here. You can manage and moderate comments here. Anyways, I mean, the main goal of this video is to understand the domain and host component and the difference between the WordPress.com website. So just as a quick review, You're going to get your host, a small orange. I recommend the $5 a month plan. You're going to sign up. They're going to send you a welcome email, which will help you get to the back end of your host, which is right here, and you're going to get to that by going to your domain/cpanel, the domain you set up with your host. Then you're going to scroll down here to your WordPress script. You're going to click your WordPress script. Then you're going to install WordPress at your domain. Let's just go ahead and plan on no directory for now to make it easy for everyone. Set your username and password. And you are ready to then access your very own WordPress backend by typing in your domain /wp-admin. And voila, you are now in full control of your backend. Okay, I think there's only 2 of you live. Let me answer some questions. Who's got some questions?
I guess I don't know if I jumped in too late or not. So, do you have to have a plugin to make sure that the picture file size isn't slowing down? Like, if the files are too large?
No, you do not have to have one, but sometimes you just have to, like, I mainly use that for, like, my image slider, which is right here, that comes across the front of the website. Like, as far as hosting or linking a photo to, like, a blog post,
Yeah.
you can set the custom size there.
Okay.
The Image Optimizer just goes through your whole website, and if it can optimize something better, it will. It's definitely not a mandatory plugin at all, but it's a really good one to have. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
That's just called image slider.
The image slider I use is called a Meta Slider Pro. There's a lot of good WordPress plugins out there that are free, but the ones that are really, really good are like a one-time fee of $20 or maybe even $10 or $15 a year, and they're definitely worth having. Your website's faster, it's easier for your customers to use, et cetera, et cetera. What else? Anyone else have any other questions? I can probably be on here for another 5 minutes before I gotta run.
Can you pay for a year up front, or is it just a monthly fee?
You can pay for the whole year up front, and I think they'll even give you 15% off if you pay for your host for the whole year. But it depends on how you want to run your finances. Sometimes I like to do everything monthly because then I can see my month-to-month cash flow and look at my business year over year and see how I'm cash flowing. If you'd rather have the 15%, that's fine too. The tiny plan is $35 a year. That one's so small that they make you pay for a year up front. But yeah, and then I think domains through a small orange is like, I think they're $12 or $13 a year. A small orange is not the cheapest, but I think you jumped in a little late on this. I was talking about one reason I love them is if at 3 in the morning I have a catastrophic problem, in 60 seconds I can be on chat or on the phone with someone, and they have awesome tech analysts that will fix problems like really, really quickly. So. You can definitely get a cheaper host and definitely cheaper domains. There's some websites that'll do a $5 a year domain, but when we're talking about like $10 over the course of a year, which is like 90 cents a month,
Right.
it's just not worth going with anything cheaper. So what else? If Jackie muted, she may have had to go do something. I know Caitlin's muted because she's got all of her kids with her.
I'm sure you got your mind. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's the main difference between a WordPress.com and a self-hosted. Self-hosted WordPress, I think, is the most versatile website you could have. It is literally limitless the amount of themes you can buy and customize. If we go back to my back end here, hold on. There we go. We go back to my back end. Yeah, here we go. there's just tons of stuff that you can customize on here. That's the Gravity Forms plugin. I love Gravity Forms. That's the best form you can get for contact forms. And so from here you can, like I said, edit all your pages. You can manage all your media. It's a very similar back end to if you do a WordPress.com, but you've got plugins and you can start to get really custom on your website. So sign up for a host, and when you sign up for your host, they will ask you if you already have a domain name or if you want to buy another domain name. Now, if you have multiple domain names, I might as well just show you this while we're here. If you have multiple domain names, once you log into your host, all you have to do is go down here to domains and do add-on domains, and you can add unlimited domains to your website. And you can actually host multiple websites from your host because you can install WordPress as many times as you want. So let's say you've got Coke.com, Pepsi.com, MountainDew.com, whatever you like to drink.com. You could have one host and add on all those domains and then install WordPress on each domain. It's really brilliant. Most of my hosts, I think I have 3 hosts and about 5 websites each. Now, if you have multiple domains and you just want to forward them, like let's say you have LaceyPhoto.com, LaceyPhotos.com, Lacey'sPhotographyCompany.com, PhotosByLacey.com, you can go right here to redirects and point all those domains to the main one that you advertise, which is probably the one that's on your business card or the one that's on your Facebook page. Okay. Yeah, this is the back end of your host right here. It may look like this. They came out with this new theme that I hate a lot, so I always switch it. But if you log into your back end and it looks like this, just go up here to switch theme and go to X3. So, yeah. All right. Any last minute questions? Because I got to go ahead and run. I just saw so many WordPress questions today and wanted to, just do a quick tutorial. So I think I might do a more in-depth one later. And all the programs that I teach, our mentoring programs and our coaching programs, we learn tons of stuff like this, and you have basically unlimited access to me for Q&A on this type of training. So if you guys are interested in any of those products, check out nextlevelphotographer.com or the group that I do a lot of my personal coaching in, which is the Photog Society. So thank you guys for being a part of this quick and fun Google Air Hangout, and I will talk to you all soon.